Wow. It got so quiet. I'm still over there putting on my lip gloss. So anyway, welcome to all of you. Thank you for your attention and good morning. We've had it was such great energy when I walked into the room, and I can just feel the connections being made. So that's always one of the nice things about this breakfast. So I'm Mary Huss, and I'm publisher of San Francisco Business Times. And we want to thank you for joining us to celebrate the most generous corporate philanthropists in our region. And on behalf of our partners, AAA Insurance, Chevron, Kaiser Permanente, Levi Strauss and Company, and the Northern California. These are our representatives. Anyway, and we really do thank each of you who are honored for the wonderful contributions you make to our community. And we're so proud that each year we can convene this group of nonprofit and for-profit leaders, all committed to working together to build a stronger community. And it's such a great partnership, so many great partnerships that are forged in this community. And we're pleased to say that based on our research that resulted in these rankings, it's certainly been another great year of philanthropy here in the Bay Area. So our goal this morning is to recognize these most generous companies and to share with you some of the best practices and help you hopefully learn from each other, and also hopefully to inspire more giving and foster some connections that will result in more profitable and productive partnerships. So we have a whole lot to do this morning, so I'm going to try to make this quick, but I wanted to explain how things will work. We begin with our unveiling of the rankings, and there are 65 corporate philanthropists, so we'll have a countdown on that. Then we have some other special awards we present, and after that we have an illuminating discussion with a very distinguished panel of leaders about some of the innovations in philanthropy in the current state and how they handle things in their organizations. So we'll take a look at some of the trends that are shaping philanthropy now and into the future. And then we do encourage you, there's always a really great session right after the big main session after 10 o'clock. I think it starts at 10:30. And that is in the French room on the lobby level. And this year it's called Exploring Successful Corporate and Nonprofit Partnership, and it's going to feature Elisa Friedman, Executive Director at Opportunity Junction, John Lee, Director of Development at the Bread Project, Dennis Bartels, Executive Director of the Exploratorium, Hannah Davies from Global Partnerships and Programs at Chevron, and Colin Lakin, the leader of NCG, Northern California Grantmakers, our partner, will be moderating this. And I think it's going to really take a great look at what makes a successful partnership, why, and the considerations. So really, you'll find that good. So it's attendance is not mandatory, but I highly recommend it. So we've been publishing our ranking of corporate philanthropy and hosting this summit for 12 years now. And with a few new additions to the list over the years, and some having flatness, some are flat, some are new, some are different. But we can proudly claim, if you look back to 2008 and 2009, where before the economy started took its big dip, in 2011, which is the year we measured, giving was 30% higher than it was then. So that's a wonderful thing. And an amazing 18 companies on the list gave at least 1% of their profits to charity. So it's a wonderful thing. Now, the research is very competitive. I do hear from leaders all the time that they aim to rank higher on this list in the coming years, which always makes me happy to hear that. All of you in this room will be the very first to learn where the companies rank. This is the publication. I have to tell you, I just read this really fully last night. This is going to be in Friday's edition. Lots of great content in terms of the stories that our great editorial team put into this, and some of the stories about some of the companies on the list and some of the other board members, so I highly recommend this reading. But that's where it will appear on Friday. You'll get your copy to take home today after we have. If you are a nonprofit, I'm going to assume that would be your choice. So, unless you're really generous. Yeah. So it takes a lot of work to put the Philanthropy publication and all the nomination and awards together. So I do want to publicly thank our team. It's kind of a favorite project at the Business Times. Andrea Exton-Kemper is our research leader, and her research is at the heart of the publication. She has to dig hard to get those documents from all of you. Senior editor Emily Fancher put a special touch on this year, I think, and she was the content director, and our events director and events manager Felicia Brown and Jackie Bishop. And then really I hope all of you will get to know the nonprofit Philanthropy Foundation Week is a very important one at the San Francisco Business Times in our regular coverage. Many of you knew probably Sarah Duxbury. She left our company, happily employed at Clorox, and we miss her, but we're still in close touch. I'm pleased to introduce to you our new reporter for the nonprofit beat, and her name is Renee Froyo. And there is her photo. Renee, why don't you stand up? She's in the room this morning. Track her down. She's very talented, very inquisitive, very passionate about this beat, and she's brand new, but proven and tested. We're really excited, and I know she's excited. So you can find out how to reach her in the website or on the back in the back staff box. So, all right. Let's see. I have one more thing to say, and that is just to thank our wonderful hosts here at the Fairmont, and to thank the hospitality industry in general. I just told Tom Klein, who is the general manager, very philanthropic himself, that the hospitality industry is raising $1 million in the month of July for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and so he has information here for you. And I just thought, Tom's so passionate about this. He's such a wonderful host this morning. It's just a July $1 million fundraising, so if anybody wants to jump on, see Tom online and he'll tell you how to get involved. So now, let's unveil the rankings. I'm sure you're all curious. They changed a lot this year too, so it's going to be interesting. There's a little competition. We're going to count down from 65 to 11 in groups of 5, as you see on the screen. So we'll ask you to hold your applause until each group is announced. Only the top 10 will actually come to the stage, but we do have an award for all of you. So pick up your award at the Business Times table. And your copy of the publication also. You're also generous. We just aren't going to bring you all up here. So, but we will cheer you on. And then the top 10 will allow to come up and each say a few very, very brief words. So, let's begin the countdown, and I'll start with just a huge congratulations for each and every one of you. All right. So we're going to start with number 65 through 61. 65 is Block Construction. 64 is Presidio Bank. 63, Swinnerton Builders. 62, the Northern Trust Company. 61, Cupertino Electric. Congratulations. 60 is Polycom. 59, Nibby Brothers, general contractors. 58, Sharts Freeze. 57, Advent Software. 56, Rambus Incorporated. Congratulations. 55, 51, Bank of Marin is 55. 54 is Fremont Bank. 53, NetApp. 52, Webcore Construction. And 51 is CA Technologies. So congratulations. Number 50, Give Something Back Office Supplies. It's built into their DNA. All right, 49, Heritage Bank of Commerce. 48, SVB Financial Group. 47, Autodesk. 46, WL Butler Construction. Congratulations. Bayer Healthcare. 44, Working Assets. Credo Mobile. 43, City National Bank. 42, Hanson Bridget. And 41, Mechanics Bank. Now, 40 is Heffernan Insurance Brokers. 39, Vodafone Americas. 38, Wilson Sonsini, Goodrich and Rosati. 37, KPMG. 36, Juniper Networks. Terrific, congratulations. 35 is Charles Schwab and Company. 34 is Lamb Research. 33, U.S. Bank. 32, Cliff Bar. 31, Amgen. Congratulations. 30, the Sobrato Organization. 29, Morrison and Forrester. 28, BlackRock. 27, Xilinx. And 26 is the Clorox Company. And the top 25, now 25 is Bank of the West. 24 is Adobe Systems. 23, Deloitte. 22, SanDisk. And 21, Visa. So 20 is Applied Materials, 19 Union Bank, 18 Gap Incorporated, 17 AT&T, 16 Levi Strauss and Company. And on to the top 15. Number 15 is Salesforce.com, 14 is Microsoft, 13 Citi, 12, Oracle, and 11, eBay. Congratulations. Citizens. And now, in the interest of time, we're going to have just the top 5 make a brief acceptance speech, but everybody in the top 10 gets to come up and brief this.
Morning. It's great to see this crowd. I really look forward to this every single year. But I'm not going to keep you waiting. Let's get to the top 10. I'll come back later and say a little bit about our wonderful partnership. Number 10 this year is Intel Corporation. Intel is giving focus on 4 areas: serving vulnerable populations, developing and spreading evidence-based care, providing education models for healthcare professionals, and informing public policy. Intel's local giving is over $7 million in 2011. Accepting for Intel is Grace Davis, Director of Corporate Affairs. Grace? That's not Grace. That's great faking. Number 9, Genentech. Genentech gave over $9 million in contributions to the Bay Area nonprofits in 2011, up from $6 million in 2010. Genentech focuses on giving on health science education, patient education and advocacy, as well as community support. I'm going to accept the award on behalf of Genentech because our good friend Colleen Wilson is on maternity leave. So let's give applause to Genentech. Number 8, PG&E. PG&E is doing so much to promote green and sustainable business practices. PG&E voluntarily launched a solar habitat program where they partner with Habitat for Humanity to bring solar energy to families with limited incomes. Accepting the award for PG&E is Ezra Garrett, Vice President, Community Relations, Executive Director of PG&E Foundation. Ezra? Bank of America. Bank of America leaders believe that healthy communities create healthy places to do business. One way their corporate philanthropy advances community opportunity in the Bay Area is through Bank of America's Neighborhood Excellence Strategy, where they have developed the Neighborhood Excellence Initiative, otherwise known as the NEI Awards. The 2011 Bank of America gave over $10 million locally. Accepting for Bank of America is Janet Lemkin, California State President, Bank of America. At number 6, Cisco Systems. Cisco gave over incredibly $13 million to the Bay Area causes in 2011. That's a huge commitment, isn't it? It sure is. The company invests in strategic community programs that drive educational and economic reform. Accepting for Cisco is Ricardo Benvenitez, Senior Community Relations Manager. Ricardo?
Él es latino, Carlos Benavides. A él hay que buscarlo ahorita.
So I know you're all waiting for the top 5. I'm going to get out of the way and let Mary do that. Mary?
All right. Okay, so breaking into the top 5 for the first time. At number 5 is J.P. Morgan Chase and Company. J.P. Morgan Chase increased their giving in 2011 by an incredible $5 million, up to $13.745 million. J.P. Morgan Chase invests heavily in community development, working to lead a renaissance in high-need communities. One of the major civic initiatives the company is involved in is HOPE SF, a transformational public-private partnership that will rebuild public housing projects and improve quality of life for the residents in and around Bayview Hunters Point. Accepting the award for J.P. Morgan Chase is Brian Thomas, Market Manager for Northern California Private Bank, J.P. Morgan Chase.
Great, so revenue a couple here. So, real quick, thank you very much on behalf of J.P. Morgan Chase and our 20,000 employees in the state of California. We're very committed to making a difference, as that's our firm's legacy in communities across the globe where we do business. As we continue to grow our presence in the Bay Area, we realize that we're not alone in this endeavor. So like many of you in this room, we believe and have a passion for serving our communities. And we look forward to engaging all of you to continue to do so. And I'm also proud to say that our employees are on the front lines too, often rolling up their sleeves to volunteer at food banks, cleaning up beaches and parks, and picking up the occasional hammer to help build homes for our families. We also like to know our communities and customers in the best possible way. So if you've noticed any Chase branches popping up in your neighborhood, the ones with the bright blue octagon, please come in and say hello to us. Chase has grown from 200 branches in California in 2008 to over 1,000 branches today. So we're creating jobs and bringing financial resources to communities across the state. So once again, we look forward to continuing to grow our presence here in the Bay Area. Look forward to engaging all of you. And thank you very much for this recognition.
Le ganaron por $100,000
And number 4 is Safeway.
Safeway.
In 2011, Safeway gave over $16 million to Bay Area charities in cash, and through their e-script program that donates a percentage of revenue to individual schools, which is an increase of over $3.5 million year to year. Safeway is focused on programs that eliminate both hunger and obesity, and also target education, health, and human services. Accepting for Safeway is Felicia Gray, Director of Philanthropy. Congratulations.
you to everyone and let you know how honored we are to be a recipient of this award. We have 1,000 stores in the area, and we have over 2,000 employees helping to serve our communities. And as you mentioned, through health and human services, people with disabilities, cancer research, and education. Once again, thanks.
All right, number 3 is Wells Fargo Bank.
Oh, we're fine.
And Wells Fargo and Company continues to increase its Bay Area support of charitable causes and continues to be a model corporate citizen. In 2011, they gave an incredible $19.6 million.
Well, thank you, Marion. What a great morning to be here with all of the other corporate citizens. When I look across the room and had an opportunity to meet many of you this morning, just impressed when you look around and see how much involvement there is in our community. As I said, I represent Wells Fargo Bank, and I'm representing 18,000 team members that make up the San Francisco Bay Area. And I think what we're most proud about accepting this award is we're accepting it with all of you in this room as well. And that it's together that we're going to make a difference. Our focus in Wells Fargo truly has been on trying to get our economy back on track and getting people back to work. Along with all of you is just really supporting job creation and getting everyone on the right track. Along with the dollars, we're very proud of that. We're very proud, but we're also very proud of the team members that volunteer their time out in our communities. Over 100,000 hours this past year through our 18,000 team members. And probably most proud is as we've grown over the last 160 years, celebrating our anniversary this year, is the fact that we still make local decisions. We've gone from a regional bank some 24 years ago when I started with the bank to now across 39 states. But San Francisco is our home. This is where we're headquartered, and this is what matters most to us locally. So again, thank you very much, Mary. Thank you to the Times and a wonderful morning.
Oh.
Chevron.
Is it a yay or a Chevron gave over $20 million to Bay Area charities in 2011. Investing in communities is a pillar of Chevron's corporate culture, which embodies the values set forth by the Chevron Way. In total, Chevron gave $209 million in the United States and more internationally. A key target cause for Chevron is investing in programs that support STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and math. Accepting for Chevron is Matt Lonner, Manager, Global Partnerships and Programs, and President, Chevron Foundation, Chevron.
Number 2, huh? All right. We got some to do. I'd like to start by acknowledging the individual who leads our California and Bay Area efforts and is much responsible for the effort to engage our partners and develop these meaningful programs, Hannah Davis. So thank you for all the hard work you do and for giving me the permission to spend half of my life on the road this year. And you know, when I'm in Nigeria or I'm in Brazil or here in Oakland or Richmond or San Francisco, I'm constantly struck by 2 things. One, how much people all over the world want the same things for themselves, for their families, and how grateful I am that I work for Chevron, a company that's so committed and passionate and puts not only its financial resources, but its human capital and its values behind everything it does. You know, I realize that if you were to add up just the employee donations to around the world, it would break into the top 5. And so it speaks a lot. It speaks a lot that we have over 640 employees walking in San Francisco AIDS Walk this weekend. And I could be proud of our company and proud of our partners. So thank you very much.
All right, so number 1, who could it be? Last year, number 1 for the first time on our list. Once again, Google. Google gave, in fact, last year we were told that it was the first time that you all had actually broken it out by Bay Area, so we were glad to help you do that, if that's indeed the case. Google gave over $23 million to Bay Area charities in 2011, and I think over $115 million into the United States, and of course, much more globally. Google.org develops technologies to help address global challenges and supports innovative partners through grants, investments, and in-kind resources. Google also is a big supporter of STEM education programs, as well as girls' education empowerment through technology and other causes its employees and founders care deeply about. Accepting the award for Google is Kate Parker, Global Communications and Public Affairs Manager. Congratulations to Google.
I'll keep it very brief. I just want to say that we are so humbled and grateful to be part of such a vibrant and caring community, as evident by everyone who's here today. And we're very thankful to be able to support such wonderful nonprofit organizations in our community. Thank you very much.
Well, congratulations to all of our 65. We'll give them another round of applause. U.S. Bank, Charles Schwab, Heffernan Insurance, Mechanics Bank, City National Bank, W.L. Butler, Bank of Marin, Presidio Bank, and Block Construction. So all of you, can you just come on up so we can receive you?
Eso vale un montón porque significa que, claro, es como si tú fueras misio y así todo donas puta, algo, aunque sea puchito, es más sacrificio. No, it's okay.
Do a little photo op really quickly. Right, come on in. And also we can understand. Great. You didn't get your award, we'll make sure you get it.
And we have focused on cash giving up to this point, but certainly money isn't the only way that corporations are generous. We do have another group of awards, and these are known as the Beyond the Check Awards to recognize other forms of philanthropy that comes in volunteerism, donated resources, creative programs of many kinds. An independent panel of judges selects our Beyond the Check Awards, and I'd like to thank those judges for their diligent efforts. They take this very, very seriously, and there's a lot of conversation and deliberation in selecting these outstanding companies. So if you will stand, I will recognize you. John Edmiston, Senior Community Relations Manager at Kaiser Permanente. Kathleen Fletcher, Director, Nonprofit Administration, University of San Francisco. John Tower, Executive Director of the Volunteer Center serving San Francisco and San Mateo. John Dutton, Western Region Director, Taproot Foundation. And Nora Silver, Director of the Center for Nonprofit and Public Leadership and Adjunct Professor at the Haas School of Business at UC Berkeley. So thank you all for the time and effort you put into our Beyond the Check awards. And it's always challenging, but also gratifying. Unfortunately, Health Partner of the Year award. And as the nation's largest nonprofit system, Kaiser Permanente has over a 60-year history of social mission and commitment to improving the health of the Bay Area communities we all serve. And in all that time, Kaiser Permanente has always provided care and coverage for the uninsured and underserved and actively supported universal health coverage. Please welcome John Egniston to present our award for Community Health Partner.
Good morning. It's been a great honor to be one of the judges of the Beyond the Check Award for the last several years. This year, the competition for the Community Health Partner of the Year was very strong, but in the end, the judges were all unanimous in their selection of State Farm Insurance for the Community Health Partner of the Year Award for their several programs promoting health and safety, including child car seat inspections, free inspections, and keen driver safety awareness. These programs have potentially saved countless lives.
Just need a pair of glasses up here. I'm pleased to present the award for Corporate Philanthropy Education Partner of the Year. And the recipient of this year's award is Mechanics Bank. This award recognizes the commitment the Mechanics Bank has made to education programs, particularly in the areas of finance and business literacy. As I've learned more about Mechanics Bank's participation in these areas, I've been thoroughly impressed because they not only do this as part of their ongoing business activities, they've really adopted it as part of their culture. They have significant amounts of volunteerism. Employees work hand in hand teaching business literacy at E.M. Downer Elementary School in San Pablo. The bank also underwrites the entire cost of 2 educational programs that support more than 600 Downer Elementary students from K to college and another Project Seed program. One of the things that struck me is that a quote that I heard associated with them is they say that being there is as important as giving there. And when asked by another Fortune 1000 company, like, how are you so widely recognized, loved, and embraced by the communities you serve, the answer simply was, you show up. I'd like to have Michael Downer, Vice Chairman of the Board of Mechanics Bank, come here today to accept the award. Michael?
Thank you very much for those wonderful comments. For 107 years, we've been serving Northern California, and I'm honored this morning to be the 4th generation of my family to help continue our legacy of giving back, because that's really why we're all here today, to give back, to make our communities stronger, to make them better places for us to operate as businesses, and to really serve those around us more successfully. On behalf of all of our employees that do spend so much time in the communities we serve, thank you very much.
Congratulations. And to present the Community Change and Impact Award in Philanthropy, I'd like to reintroduce Matt Lahner, Manager of Global Partnerships and Programs and President, Chevron Foundations. Matt.
Thank you again. It's an honor to present the Community Change and Impact Award. Of course, we're not talking about any change or impact. We're talking about positive change and meaningful impact that improves the lives of people and drives economic development. Chevron, we know that our company cannot be successful without a healthy, competitive, and economically stable California. Our need to hire and employ a technical workforce is a principal reason we invest in programs to provide students with access and teachers with the resources to support and ensure that every student receives a rigorous and relevant STEM enrichment both in and out of the classroom. That's why we support organizations like the Bread Project, Opportunity Junction, Stride Center, Richmond Community Foundation, focusing on small, medium enterprise development and career and technical training to help produce a workforce that produces sustainable livelihoods. With that, I have the pleasure of presenting the Community Change and Impact Award to an exceptional company that has demonstrated groundbreaking practices to support Bay Area communities over the past year. And I'm proud to say, a fellow East Bay company. Our honoree exemplifies how to successfully work with nonprofit partners to create innovative solutions to issues that matter most in our community. And the 2011 CR report, which I encourage you to read, entitled Think Outside the Bottle, is a remarkable exposition of the intersection between social investment and business. The recipient of this award has invested in 106 Oakland nonprofit community-based organizations in the past year. Please join me in presenting the 2012 Community Change and Impact Award to Clorox Company.
Pero no calificamos. Tampoco.
Embarking on its 100th year in Oakland, California. So we've been here a long time, and we always take a lot of pride in working with our nonprofit partners from the beginning, and other community leaders, because it can't just be the nonprofit community, right? You've got to have other people who support you and who see the need and see the importance of community building. And that's what we try to do in Oakland and at Clorox. And I want to we partner very closely with the East Bay Community Foundation, who helps us identify some of the innovative programs that we look for in our community. So I want to give a shout out to my partners at East Bay Community Foundation.
Sí, pero él es el que va a presentar el de Levis.
Good morning. I'm delighted to be here today. I'm thrilled to be presenting this year's Community Partnership and Sustainability Award. At Levi Strauss & Company, giving back never goes out of style. It's part of our more than 155-year tradition of making a positive impact in the communities where we do business. And it extends to the way we treat our employees, how we ensure the safety of those who make our products, and especially to our commitment to the environment. And when it comes to caring for our planet, we're a great company. Today's award recipient demonstrates what companies can achieve when they live their values. Today's honoree believes that creating a culture of sustainability means taking leadership stance in the community, and lead they did. In 2011, our honoree invested a record $213 million in grants across 19,000 nonprofits. Their team members contributed more than 1.5 million volunteer hours across the country. That's $32 million worth of volunteer time. And when it comes to investing in the community, this honoree had an eye towards the triple bottom line, making investments that focus on long-term environmental, social, and financial return. One example of this strategy at work is a 5-year partnership with Bay Area nonprofit Grid Alternatives, an organization that brings solar power and education to underserved neighborhoods. By providing 1,500 hours of volunteer time and $600,000 in grant funding, our honoree provided the boost that Grid Alternatives needed. Now, Grid Alternatives has achieved a 25-fold increase in projects completed. And even more exciting is the expanded path forward that Grid Alternatives is created because of our honor rating. Their sustainability accomplishments are numerous, and their commitment to environmental leadership is an inspiration to others. I'm pleased to announce the 2012 Community Partnership and Sustainability Award recipient, Wells Fargo. Please help me give a warm welcome to Wells Fargo.
Por la pura gran por las 3 weeks.
Hay que hablar con esa chica.
Thank you very, very much. This has been a team effort, and it truly is an honor to accept this award on Wells Fargo's behalf and on behalf of our many, many team members and executives who have contributed to the success of our relationship with Grid Alternatives, supporting affordable housing, job creation, and renewable energy, bringing renewable energy to families that can benefit the most from it. Going forward, I'm proud to announce that we have a new environmental giving program where we aim to provide $100,000 in grants to environmental organizations from now to 2020. And through that program, we are looking to further support Grid Alternatives, helping to bring Grid, a Bay Area nonprofit organization, help them further expand to other states nationwide. So, being in a room full of philanthropists, and with Grid being our partner, I encourage you all to join us in supporting Grid Alternatives. You can find them by Googling Grid Alternatives. Thank you very, very much.
Congratulations. And our final category, we created a new award this year to honor companies that are outstanding corporate citizens, but maybe they don't show up in some of our other rankings as easily, and it's called Small Business Big Impact. We have 2 outstanding examples today. So here to present the award, let me introduce Don Bosley.
Colleagues at JPMorgan Chase, I am thrilled to present the award. As you see more of the blue Chase logos that my colleague Brian referred to in the Bay Area, it means that we're building branches, but we're helping our communities grow to the fullest potential. As we invest in our schools, our neighborhoods, and our community partners here in the Bay Area, it's the small business owner, the entrepreneur, who decides to pursue his or her passion, who plays an integral role in helping to fuel this growth. And it's why we applaud people like Rory and Mark, who not only pursued their passion, but continue to give back to the community in a meaningful way. Mark is the founder and CEO of Rickshaw Bagworks, which donates money, time, and product to local nonprofit organizations, including SF Made, SF Bicycle Coalition, Pacific Community Ventures, Conservation Strategy Fund, and at the Crossroads, a San Francisco-based homeless youth outreach program. Mark is personally involved in affecting public policy as the founder and chairman of SF Made, a well-known organization dedicated to celebrating small-scale artisan manufacturing and supporting local job growth in the manufacturing sector of San Francisco. Rory Shields' company Indonesian Designs SAC Brands has incubated a fast-growing nonprofit organization called America's Scores Bay Area, which makes significant impact at 16 low-income public schools in San Francisco. SAC, a manufacturer of women's accessories, has been SCORE's #1 corporate supporter, donating hundreds of thousands of dollars and providing space, support, and leadership. SAC has played an enormous role in transforming SCORES from a small nonprofit to a respected service provider that delivers educational enrichment opportunities 6 days a week for youth who face the twin risk of illiteracy and obesity. I will let them tell you how their hard work has earned them a reputation as being an outstanding corporate citizen. Rory, Dwight, I am honored to present to you the San Francisco Business Times Small Business Large Impact Award.
He's currently out of town, he cannot accept the award personally. So he did ask me to say a few words on his behalf. First of all, thank you to everybody for this recognition. We support education through our partnership with America Scores. This relationship between the SAP and America Scores is over 10 years old. And we believe deeply in the inherent potential for all youth and want all kids to dream and have hope for their futures. The combination of soccer and poetry creates confident, healthy children who have the courage to share their ideas and feelings with their communities. We are happy to be able to help kids live their dreams. Thank you again.
Mary, thank you very much. Tom Van Ness for putting this all together. I am thrilled. I am very proud to be here. I stand on the shoulders of all the people that do all the hard work at the organizations that I'm involved with, SF Made, the Bike Coalition, At the Crossroads, and others. And I really appreciate my friends at Levi Strauss for nominating me this year, and I'm just pleased to be here. Thank you very much, and thanks to all of you who are doing so much to give back in the Bay Area. Thanks.
I add my thanks to the Business Times and to Mary Huss. This was just a glimmer in her eye 12 years ago, and now look at this great tradition. This is one of the most special events in our community. And I must say, on behalf of all my nonprofit colleagues in the room, our thanks to all of our business partners who work with us strategically to impact our communities. And I must say that it's never been more important, and there is no upper limit. So thank you for all that you do. This year marks United Way's 90th anniversary in our community, so we'll look forward to inviting all of you to join us in our celebration of our many partners, our employers and individuals and our nonprofit partners.
Which she's going to tell you about. Tessie served for 15 years as CEO of the Asian and Pacific Islander American
organization that we fund, we house them in our offices, and we collaborate with them in terms of providing pro bono tax services for those in need. So, and that's, sounds kind of boring, but it's something very important to me. I'm an accountant though, so I think it's great.
And I'm going to jump over here to Ken Weber. And, Zynga is, well, how many of you have ever played a Zynga game? Loaded. So there's been some very creative things that you've done at Zynga to raise quite a bit of money. And so you want to explain a little bit about the Zynga?
Sure. For those of you who aren't willing to admit that you play Zynga games, for those of you who actually don't, Zynga is a mega Farmville, work with friends and draw something, and a lot of really fun, light, social games that can be played on the web and on mobile and various other devices. So I work very closely with Zynga to leverage our products and our platform and what our employees know about games and gamification and entertainment and how people engage with one another to present to our nearly 300 players a month, 300 million players a month, opportunities to do good through social games. And I joined Zynga about 6 months ago, and I inherited an organic, player-driven, employee-driven practice, which really got its start in responding to, a couple of big global disasters. We were able to generate millions of dollars within just a couple of weeks.
The process is important. When you think about it from the nonprofit's point of view, their ability to feel good about making some steps forward, raises their level of confidence to continue to move even further. With technology, for instance, for a nonprofit that's just starting to use social media or is creating a web presence, to be able to measure page views, how much time a viewer spends on a page, what page they're using, how many Twitter followers you have from any one point in time to another, and what are they following. The advantages of technology both hinder and help in many ways, but I think in terms of measurement and metrics, it's quite an advance or opportunity. On the impact side, with the organizations that we support, we work with them to put together a dashboard for the kinds of things that they want to measure relative to the impact in addition to those that we do. So on the financial side, on the business side, on the technology side, and on the social impact side. So for instance, with after-school programs, we'll help our organizations measure the impact of an after-school digital media program on attendance in school, things like that. So it is quite possible. Return on investment's a little bit harder.
I work for a data-driven company. One of the things that makes think of competitive is its reliance on data. You don't leave your desk without understanding the data implications of it. So in our in-game philanthropy, we're trying to understand, are we additive?
I think that we're going to see, and I hope we're going to see, more risk-taking in philanthropy that's explicit and then measured and shared and made available. And I really think that that's important for us as we want to make a greater impact. And we can do that and not worry so much about what others are going to say about us, because that's going to happen anyway, right? And really sort of just learn from the process.
I think you had a point about that to make, about the importance of being able to fail.
I mean, it's part of the culture. It's okay to fail. Test, fail fast, fail inexpensively, and learn. We want to know, like everybody, we want to know what the winning hand is to solve a social problem or to have an impact. But I think the way to get there, particularly for folks who do something else, 60 or 70 hours a week, a lot of testing, a lot of partnership, I think, is in the equation.
So we are at the 10 o'clock hour, so I'm going to ask each of you to think of a final, sort of brief. So I can put it out there. So you have a final, something that you wanted to say that you didn't, you can do that. Or if there's a rallying cry that you would like, something that you might say something that you might say to the audience that would be how we can raise the bar on giving, or your best advice to the leaders in the room, both for-profit and nonprofit. Is there an action item we should put out to this room to continue to raise the bar? So that's a big, broad bunch of questions, and you can answer as you see fit for your final remarks. So I will, Tessie, you sort of threw out the rallying cry question, so I'm going to start with you.
Okay, I'm really concerned about the integration of technology in healthcare at this point, particularly on the consumer side, and for the new those enrollees and beneficiaries who are going to newly be part of the healthcare delivery system that's all reformed and that's going to depend on technology as the way to engage with the healthcare reform system. So we're putting out feelers and strategies around how, for many of the companies here, you fund social services, you fund healthcare, you fund a number of institutions in the community who are going to be the places where these folks go to say, help me, explain to me, how do I enroll in healthcare? How do I now engage with my doctor? How do I understand the lab result that's coming through the electronic health record? I don't have access to a computer, right? So very, very, very concerned about how the healthcare chain, or the delivery in healthcare is going to change, and what impact that's going to have on the disadvantaged and underserved population and the institutions that they interact with.
We have people in the room. Good. I'll come over here to you, Stephanie.
Well,
I said earlier that I think integrating some sort of philanthropic program is maybe becoming a requirement in business. But I also think in order for it to be effective, it has to be authentic. And so I think that...
Take it from me, I'm now occasionally required to be enthusiastic about the games, but I was a skeptic, and I still don't buy all the arguments, but if anything, you'll learn how games and gamification, and particularly social games, are kind of permeating the culture, for better or for worse. I think there are implications there for how you're communicating internally, how you're gamifying your employee engagement programs for nonprofits, how you're presenting your advocacy and your fundraising. It's an interesting ball of wax. I'm also thankful and honored to be included on stage with and to be part of a great tradition in the Bay Area. We're in learning mode. Met with many of you have been kind enough to spend time with me and show me the ropes and send me your decks and your strategies. And so we're happy to be part of it.
Just get my notes and read them off. Thanks to all of you. We hope to see you all back next year, higher on the list even. And thanks for being such generous citizens and making this the best community in the country. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you.